I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my creative healing course is filled with hours of exclusive content. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
Today we're going to be talking about she got tired of my behavior.
Ah, she did, huh?
You know, Margaret, a lot of times we don't realize how poorly we're treating our partner.
It is true. No, most of us don't do it deliberately.
We get so caught up in how we feel, how we think things are, and our own experience that we don't think about how our behavior, our attitude, our beliefs are impacting that other person.
Right.
And sometimes people just can't take it anymore.
Right.
We have to know that our behavior is going to impact somebody's willingness to stay with us. And you have to be accountable for that. And that's why I'm always telling you guys that you want to be someone's best option. People have options. They don't have to stay with you. And you don't have to stay with them. If somebody mistreats you, we don't want you to stay with them either. But you gotta be an adult and treat somebody like they deserve with love and respect. And like I said, vice versa. And if that doesn't happen, then it's probably healthier for the both of you to part ways, right? Because someone's only going to tolerate bad behavior for so long before they get exhausted by it or frustrated by it and just think, I can't keep doing this.
But if you come from a family where people didn't communicate and give you feedback, then you get little idea of what behavior is tolerable to others and what isn't.
Yeah. So, I know that it could be helpful for us to go over emails and email coachings where we explore and look at these things closer so you guys can learn to become more accountable and change the way you act in relationships, because it really is important, right?
Yes, it is.
So I've got an email coaching here today, and I'm going to call this guy Marvin, and he is in his late 20s, and he was dating a girl, we'll call her Natasha, and she's around the same age, okay? Now, they are not from America. I'm not going to say what country they're from, but that might explain some of the language or the way he writes this, okay? If you find it difficult to understand it at times. Now, he says that he broke up with her in January of 2019, okay? And that was after he lost a family member, okay? Now, he says, the two problems, according to him, are I broke up with her in January after he lost a family member, and that he tweeted things that she found offensive. Okay?
Okay.
So he says she traveled to another country to finish her study in August of 2019. But then when Corona happened, she had to return in March. We distanced during this time. She started her own quarantine in late March when a mandatory total quarantine was ordered where they live. All of April was hell. We distanced more, and I tweeted hurtful things such as, brace yourself, it would be embarrassing to be the child of an affair your father had.
Ooh.
Which was her situation.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And he also tweeted, it would be nice to F, you could fill in the blanks.
I can.
Evan Rachel Wood, who is an American actress. So he's tweeting these things. So I think most people would be pretty offended by
Yes,
both
they
of those.
certainly would.
Both of those, okay? To openly insult her origin, family issue, or
But she
secret.
didn't even have to share with him, and she trusted him enough to do it.
And to say that you want to have sex with
Yeah.
an actress on Twitter, I think most people are going to be offended by that.
Yes, and he did not think that.
No, apparently
Oh
not.
my.
She was so angry for these comments, felt judged and belittled, and said she was tired of me saying stuff like that. So that tells me there's a pattern. It wasn't just those 2 times.
Right.
Because she got tired of me saying like that, stuff like that. Implies to me multiple times he
Yes,
was saying
that's what it
things that
sounds
she
like.
finally kept getting tired of it. And it wouldn't be
Which
2
was
things.
clearly not the response he expected.
I don't know what he was expecting. It sounds like he was angry to me.
Absolutely.
Okay? Now remember, he described quarantine as hell, so maybe he was angry at her because she wouldn't see him. That's me speculating. She asked me for some time that lasted 2 weeks, meaning apart from him or talking to him. After that, we talked and we were good again, but I continued to be distant. I stopped calling her and she stopped calling me. We barely communicated through text. So in the middle of May, I broke up with her through text as an impulse. I didn't really think about it. What do you think of that, Margaret?
My goodness.
He
Okay.
didn't think about a major decision like breaking up with somebody.
Well, he said it was impulsive. But why was he so angry at her? I think that's the part that we're missing.
At the end of June, I reached out to fix things, and she said no. So about a month and a half later, he
Yep.
reaches out. Remember, he broke up with her. I insisted for the following months, and her answer didn't change, although she would say she had feelings for me and would never forget me. So it sounds to me like she cared about him as a person,
Yeah.
and was saying what we say all the time, they're not going to forget you. But she didn't want to change her answer.
Well, pretty heavy-duty stuff. He did.
Later on, she told me she met someone, but didn't provide me more information. Okay, so we don't know what's going on other than she's talking to somebody new. I began investigating by calling her 2 best girlfriends, and they gave no information, but told her I called.
Good. Good for them. They were a loyal friend and they didn't play this game with him.
Yep,
Good.
and this is something we tell you guys not to do.
It's none
in
of
no
his business.
contact.
Yep.
I called her mom, who lied, and called Natasha. At this point, she said she was seeing a girl, which was a lie. So now it sounds like he's upset because the mother lied to him.
Well, that's an odd lie for a mother to put forth, I think, but okay.
The mother should have just said, it's none of your business.
That's what she
if you
should
want to
have said.
talk to my daughter, you
Yes.
call her.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's offended by the mother lying when the mother really was probably taken aback that you had even called her.
It was very inappropriate to call her mother.
Absolutely. I started stalking her social media and she blocked me. Then she stopped picking up the phone. So apparently he's not only
He kept calling her.
stalking her, he's calling her. I created a fake profile, which she found out. Then I stalked her house.
Oh,
None of this is good.
no.
This is all really extreme
And
stuff.
he's about to get himself in trouble here.
Her sister's husband found out and told her. Finally, hired a private investigator who told me she was seeing another guy since July.
He hired a private investigator?
Yes.
Okay.
It's none of your business.
No, it's absolutely
You
none of your
broke
business.
up with her
Yep. And treated her badly.
and treated her badly.
Yep.
A couple of days later, she unblocked me from an app and sent me a text telling me to leave her alone, to stop trying to find out information about her, that she didn't feel or want to know anything about me. She threatened me to contact the authorities if this didn't stop, and finally said she felt embarrassed for having dated me and blocked me again, leaving me without a chance to defend myself.
It won't do you any good, buddy.
There's nothing you can really say to defend yourself.
No.
All of this behavior was completely inappropriate.
Yep.
Am I?
Absolutely inappropriate, intrusive, disrespectful, all those things.
None of this was okay.
No.
None of this is okay. As you can see, the situation is very bad. Not only she didn't want to fix things, but she also has a new relationship and despises me at this point. My question is there any way to fix this and the possibility of get her back? Okay. Well, obviously, this is an extreme situation,
right.
And the first thing I would say is you better take a good hard look at yourself and your behavior, because
before you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah,
this
is a pattern for you, and not just after the breakup did you do this. You were mistreating her in the relationship,
right.
And you were doing some really bizarre things in the relationship. And I said to him, my gut was that you might be bipolar.
Possible.
And that he should consider getting evaluated by a psychiatrist. Not that I'm trying to diagnose him in any way, but that behavior felt very bipolar to me.
Yes,
that
it certainly
anger,
could be. Right.
That level of anger that he had.
And he doesn't give us any reason why he would be angry at her.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
Does he? No.
No, not based on what he wrote here. He really took it to another level, where he was hiring private investigators, stalking on social media, harassing her by phone.
Sounds like he didn't know what to do without her, even though he pushed her away. Right?
Yep. I agree with that. And so he probably has a serious trauma history himself.
I would guess. And he clearly had no ability to understand the impact of his behavior, as you said earlier, because he seemed surprised that she was so upset about the things he said to her.
Yeah. So you're in a situation where there's absolutely no way I could ever recommend reaching out to this woman in any shape or form. Don't reach out to her family. Don't reach out to her friends. Don't do anything for any kind of forward momentum. This woman has made it extremely clear that at this point she wants nothing to do with you. And that is her right. That is her choice. You can't force yourself in someone's life. And you need to take a look at your behavior, and if this is a history for you, that you continue to mistreat people, if this is a pattern for you in your relationships, right? Because nobody's going to tolerate this, okay? And this isn't healthy, and it's not good for you, and this probably would not be a good situation for you to even try to turn around, as much as you may care about her or want to at this point, because there's a lot of hurt and anger here, and I think you got to work through a lot of stuff here before you get into another relationship with anybody else.
Absolutely. And you can hear that he's sad, however. Underneath all this anger and bad behavior, I hear sadness and almost desperation that she's gone and he's alone.
Yeah.
But you can't do it this way. And he's fortunate he didn't get arrested this time, but that can happen if you continue to do that sort of thing. Don't do that to yourself. Get help first.
Yeah. I mean, do I think she's going to reach out anytime soon? Absolutely not.
She's afraid of you by now.
Yeah. I think the healthiest thing for you to do is to move forward as if you don't hear from her again. If for some reason you had better show her a lot of different behavior, that you respect her, you respect what she needs, respects what she wants, and that you are accountable for all the things that you did when she brings them up, and I think inevitably she would be.
Right. So just own them. That's the most manly, grown-up thing to do, and it will be respected.
And I think you need to focus on healing and getting into therapy.
Yes.
Because this was really destructive behavior and extreme.
Yep.
I mean, I know that so many of us can do things that we're embarrassed of or ashamed of in a breakup, but to me, it looked like it was going on in the relationship.
And at the risk of oversimplifying things, I have learned over the years that people hurt as they have been hurt. And that's scary to think of for you. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you were hurt like that, I'm very sorry, and please deal with it.
Yes, you do want to deal with it because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Nobody does, okay? I mean, I think she's scared of him.
Oh, by now she is, sure.
And, at this point, I don't think she wants anything to do with you. Who knows what could happen in the future? I wouldn't count on it. I would focus
But you never
on...
know.
I want to focus on who I want to be, how I want to learn from this, and how I want to show up in my relationships in the future. Because if you continue this, people aren't going to want to stay with you. I mean, this is destructive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and you need to look at what would make you say such hurtful things to somebody when you're in a relationship.
I'm going to guess he felt abandoned or ignored. And it was guaranteed to get her attention, but it certainly wasn't going to get you any goodie points.
No. So focus on working through these issues. Get yourself a local therapist that can help you understand what's going on with you. I would get evaluated by a psychiatrist.
I agree.
And, realize that we all make mistakes. It doesn't have to define you for the rest of your life. You made mistakes. You did things you feel bad about. You're probably embarrassed about.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean it has to define who you are or how this goes. You can better yourself from this situation and learn. Maybe take a look at your family and how they treated each other. Because I would guess there's probably a lot of similar behavior.
I would guess so too.
Yeah.
I would guess so too.
But this is a very difficult situation. And for all of you, you want to consider how you treat your partners, because I think once we start dating somebody for a while, we kind of take them for granted. And then we think that we can mistreat them and they're going to stay.
Right. I would recommend, if it's useful, that he get a male therapist, at least in the beginning, for everybody's safety.
Okay. And I know this is tough. I know it's not what you want to hear. I know you're hurting and you're struggling.
Yes, that part comes across too. Yeah.
But you got to focus on yourself now and how you can use this to better your own life and move forward from that.
Absolutely. And we truly wish you the best.
Yeah. I know. I just feel so bad because I can imagine, when somebody's in this situation, they feel ashamed.
Yes. And it was gutsy of him to communicate.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he did.
Yep.
And if you want to let us know when you're doing better, we'd be very happy to hear that.
Absolutely. Tough situation. If you want to get our help personally, you could go to my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you think I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.